Rose writes, Rubin was on a beach in Tel Aviv, quote, looking for apartheid.
Yeah. Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, that there's actually a meme going around Israeli TikTok earlier where it was Israelis pointing their cameras sort of surreptitiously at sort of maybe Palestinian Israelis saying, ooh, there's an apartheid. And it's like, you're not really proving the point by singling these people out for content and acting like they're dispositive of some sort of wider oppression.
Right. There, when I went to the Glenn Beck 9/12 rally, there was these two guys who were walking around with their black friend and both of the guys, the white guys, had signs that said, pointed an arrow, this way. So they'd have to flank them and go like, do we look racist to you?
Oh my God.
It was unbelievable. I think you can find that. It was an early one.
How'd they get that guy to agree
YouTube
to
to watch?
that?
Yeah, let's see YouTube of Dave in Israel.
A short here. Let me zoom in on this 1 second, Bradley. Yeah, there you go.
Israel on a beautiful day in a part of the world that isn't so beautiful right now. I'm here for a week to talk to some of the survivors of October 7th, to talk to some politicians, media members, just people on the street, really find out the temperature of what's going on here in Israel. And the reason that I came was not only to show solidarity with Israel and the Israeli people, but also because I think that this country is the canary in the coal mine for the rest of the world. I think we're quite literally millions and millions of people all over the world have woken up to over the past few months is that evil is real. Not everyone thinks as we think.
This is, first off, I sort of feel like if you're going to report on this, you should make it clear that you've been paid. You've paid on your, you have not been paid, A, to do this reporting, or B, you haven't been, or you should just make it clear whether you have, had everything on your trip comped. But has there ever been a moment in politics where Dave Rubin hasn't made some grand assessment that I've really noticed that over the past few months, something radical has changed.
The scales are falling from people's eyes.
And he did this with the big Dem exit, which of course was the predicate for the greatest electoral turnout by Democrats in their history.
Yep.
Or at least in decades upon decades. Every pronouncement he makes actually ends up being almost the complete opposite. So I guess we're to believe that there are increasingly, I do think it is possible that there are more people who realize that there is evil in the world, but I don't think it is what he thinks it is.
Yeah, he even has the supernatural ability to contradict himself based on the literal B-roll as his statements are being played. In record time, he's contradicting himself, talking about how this part of the world is not so beautiful, as his editors have decided to show shots of roundabouts in Israel that seemingly are just functioning fine, and beautiful beaches that have been stolen from the Palestinians.
And this whole thing, we're the canary in the coal mine. You know what? I do think it is possible that countries that engage in an active occupation of their citizen, or their non-citizens, I should say, or who are denying large swaths of the people that they control sovereignty, deny people food or medicine, or oversee the mass starvation of children and adults for that matter. I think maybe we are seeing this may be a
rat.
There's certain type of canaries. There's maybe an Algerian canary that people may have saw half century ago. Yeah, South African canary. Certain canaries. Yeah.
Continue.
Everyone believes the same things that we believe in. And if we don't reignite that sense of freedom, figure out how to fight for it and do it justly and honestly, then all of our societies will collapse. That is the great challenge for Western societies right now. And that's what we're going to be exploring for the next week. Here I am in
I love when
Someone
This is
better
doing
cut
work.
that. Someone should should be making a video of him narrating that and just show images of all the people who are not free in that
Yeah.
area.
They
I mean, if
should.
you're fighting for freedom, I got news for you, folks. You're not in an IDF uniform.
Well, based on Dave's past proclamations, I gotta say, this is perhaps the most hope that I have felt in months for Palestinian self-determination.
Yeah, the clock's really ticking now.
Hey, as we head towards the 2024 election, both parties are going to attempt to control the media narrative. So it's vital to know what you're reading and where it's coming from, which is why our sponsor, Ground News, is going to be absolutely crucial. Their website and app gathers related articles from around the world in one place with context about each source, like whether they have a political bias, how reliable they are, who owns them, etc. Go to ground.news/majority to check them out. One of my favorite features, it's the blind spot feed, which shows you stories that are disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. So when your neighbor tells you that 1/3 of Americans think Biden's election was illegitimate, you're going to know he's talking about a poll taken back in December that was mostly covered by right-leaning news sources. And then all of a sudden, you guys have common ground to base your conversation in. You can actually engage with the facts, like, for instance, who conducted the poll? What was the sample size? If you sign up using my link, ground.news/majority, you're going to get 40% off the Vantage plan, which includes unlimited access to the blind spot feed. It's a really good service with an important mission, so I hope you're going to check it out.